What's up, guys? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's April 29th. And as you see with the title of this video, it's a little bit different type video than what we normally make here on the channel. And I'll just get right into it. I don't dive a whole lot into personal stuff on the channel here because, well, number one, it's pretty boring. And number two, I just ain't all about that. So I try to keep it sports related or funny or whatever. But my dad passed away in November 2020. He was 83 years old. He didn't die from COVID or anything like that. He just, we don't know what killed him. My mom, who has worked in the medical field for the better part of 60 years, thinks that it was probably a brain aneurysm or something. He was in really bad health, and it was just old age. So that being said, I was the only child. Didn't have any brothers or sisters, so I had to take care of everything. From getting trying to get his house in order, which I'm still not done with that. Get all of his affairs taken care of. Get his money moved around and all this stuff. And if any of y'all have ever done that, I mean, it's a taxing process, and it takes a while to get it done. You got to make a trip to this government office. You got to make a trip to that government office. You got to take a trip to the DMV. You got to go to the bank. You got to go here. Whoop, you got to turn around, go back to that government office because they sent you to the wrong place, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but I have never in my life dealt with, and this is really my first experience in having to deal with these people because quite frankly, in life, I've just always worked, paid my taxes, got a little bit of a refund back, and then went on about my business. But as I've said in videos before, ever since the pandemic hit, customer service is totally dead. It's totally dead. You'll sit here and drive up and down the road and see now hiring. Here you go. Come flip burgers, start at $15 an hour, yada, 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 and all this. And you still can't get anybody. Customer service, ever since the pandemic, is totally non-existent. And then you got, with the age of social media, everybody, they make a big deal out of a customer blowing up at a place and getting upset. And now some, they've done crazy stuff like throw soup in somebody's face or, pour grease on somebody or whatever. I think half this shit's just staged so that somebody can get hits on YouTube or TikTok or wherever. That's just my opinion on it. But, everybody thinks that anytime a customer says anything to them anymore, oh my God, they're so rude. I'm a fragile little baby. You know what? The people that aren't working are lazy pieces of shit, and then the people that are working, half of them are bitching and complaining and whining about it. So just, why don't we just all stop? And none of us will be able to go buy anything, and then we'll all just sit around and be hungry and be starving. We'll have to go out, fish from the river, hunt from the forest, and we'll go back to primitive times. Anyway, I got on a real bad tangent right there. But anyway, the IRS is no different. This is the worst run, most unhelpful government organization that I have ever seen in my life. So here's what happened. So, of course, Dad had income. He was getting pension checks, and he was getting Social Security. I'm so dumb about this stuff. I didn't even know. Last year we had an extra month to file, and I was told in probably early April. They were like, "Well, Cale, you got to go. You got to go file your dad's taxes." I'm like, "Huh?" They're like, "Yeah, you got to file his taxes." I'm like, "Well, he's dead, but you got to still file his taxes." They said, "Go file them. He usually got a little bit back." I'm like, "Okay." So I wait until like the 11th hour, just till the 11th hour. I seriously do, because I'm famous for being a procrastinator. Especially, not that I really didn't want to do this. It's just that I normally do my taxes online, and it takes me like 20 minutes. With his, I wasn't going to be able to do them online. So I just take these things to H&R Block, right? So I went to H&R Block last year. It was on like May the 9th, I think. Did his taxes. And, I had to go from there, and I had to go back to the courthouse to make sure that I had all my documents in order. I've got his death certificate. I've got this signed, stamped, notarized thing that says, that I'm the person who's supposed to take care of. See, I tell you what happened. My dad had a will. He had a will. Okay. So back in the day, so my parents got divorced in 1985 or 86, something like that. So back in the early 1990s, he met this woman, and he shacked up with her for a good many years. And he ended up buying a house in maybe 94, 95-ish. Anyway, he lived there with the woman, for a few years. And, then I guess things didn't work out for one reason or other. So he moves back to the place that was on my uncle's property. It's a little mobile home on the end of his property where he was living before. And he actually bought this woman a mobile home on the other side of town to live in. He actually bought a mobile home for her. And he made out in his will to let her have this mobile home that he owns in the event of his death. Well, then I guess he got mad at her, so he went and he whited out all that on his will several years after the fact of all this taking place. So if you white out something on your will, guess what, Hoss? It's not valid anymore. And this was the original copy. They don't keep copies of your will, apparently. So Dad, in effect, didn't have a will because he defaced it. So I had to do something, whatever they call in absence and de facto, whatever. You don't have a will. Okay, so I'm the sole surviving person, and I don't know what happened to this woman. Anyway, I mean, she's gone, not in the picture anymore. Nobody knows, seen or heard from her. And I actually went down to the courthouse to find out, do I own a trailer? I mean, because he had given it to her in the will, but then he whited it out. So we don't know. So they searched this property, and it belongs to somebody else now. So apparently he did sell it to someone. And I was always told, hey, you need to have a conversation with your daddy and this, that, and other. My mom did about, you need to have a conversation with your daddy about where all this stuff's out, for when he passes away. You need to know this stuff. Well, that's like an awkward conversation to have. So, he didn't ever bring it up, so neither did I. So I didn't know where all these important papers were. And I was just basically shuffling through stuff. And he was famous for being a pack rat, and he was pretty disorganized too. So getting just all the things together were a huge pain in the butt. Well, I have to go file his taxes. I finally get that done last year in May, and I sent it off. So he gets like $400 and something back from his state, and I think it was $1,490 federal. Yeah, that's it. $1,490 federal taxes back. Okay, and Carolina Jackpot, there was a form that the tax guy at H&R Block had me fill out that allows me to claim his income tax. And that I'm filing his income tax in his absentia. Because he is a decadent. He is not here any longer. He has passed away. I signed all this. I got his South Carolina tax return back. Maybe a month later, okay? So I'm like, I wait around. I'm like, it comes August and September comes. Never saw this $1,490. So I called, and they're like, well, you didn't file it electronically, so you can't track it on where's my refund at, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. That I talked to them at H&R Block. Whatever. So January rolls around, Uncle gets a letter out of his mailbox because he's checking the mailbox there at my dad's just because stuff trickles in every so often. Here's a letter that someone else, is claiming your tax refund. So they need to provide a copy of your death certificate and a copy of whether you're appointed representative by the court. Okay, I've already provided this when taxes were filed. We sent a copy of this in already. Okay, so we're going to do it again. Okay, I have to print off a form while I'm on the road working, doing all this. Print off a form, I fill it out, make a copy of his death certificate, make a copy of his of my court-appointed person, and I send it in. And I hear nothing. So the 1st of April, my uncle sends me screenshots of some other letter that they sent from the IRS. So that there is basically saying that they need to confirm his identity. What are you wanting to confirm? The man is dead. He's dead. So it gives you an option of going online to id.me.irs to verify him. Well, you can't do that. He's dead. He can't have an account. Then there's an option on there. Well, you can call. You can call and verify. Call us between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So I try to call at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Guess what? We're only open Monday through Friday. Okay, it doesn't say that on the lettering where it says 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So I try to call at probably 9 a.m. this past Monday. Due to the high call volume, we're unable to answer your call and provide the information needed. Goodbye. Okay. So I'm like, well, maybe some people are freed up around closing time. I call about 6 o'clock. Same message. I call the next morning at 7:10 a.m. Set my alarm for 6:45. Get up. I'm on vacation this week. Get up. No. Same message. Okay, so 3 strikes now. We have it. So I call the tax office, call H&R Block, explain to them what happened. And I'm lucky I even got a hold of somebody now, because now apparently, there's no extensions anymore. So we're almost in May now, and tax offices are fixing to all close up. Well, it's a good thing you got a hold of us now, because we're fixing to close down next week. Well, what you need to do is you need to go up here to Roper Mountain Road in Greenville and make an appointment at the IRS Center. I'm like, okay, well, we can do that. You go up here, here's a big phone number on the window. You got to call the number to make an appointment. Great. So I got to call this number to make an appointment here. So I called this number, go back home. Oh, but the little security guard there told me, well, you could probably do it from any city, really, of any size in the U.S. It doesn't have to just be here. You can do it anywhere. So I'm like, okay, good. So when I go on the road back to work next week, I can probably do it in the city I work in. Yeah, and I do that. I Google, where's the nearest IRS office there? 90 miles away. It's ridiculous. So then I call these idiots this morning. Wait. And I finally am able to talk to someone who's able to provide me no help. She tells me that she gets his name, his social security number, the date of his death, the date of his birth. Unfortunately, I'm not able to verify you. I'm like, God damn, we just sent it in on this form. We did the taxes last year. No, it's not there. So I ended up hanging up on her. And, then I called back, left a message. And so they called me back about another hour later. And it was someone else that calls back this time, who tells me something totally different and tells me that, yes, I do need to come in and make an appointment. And I need to call and make an appointment. Before I can make the appointment out, I need to fill out a 56 form. Okay, what's a 56 form? Well, a 56 form allows someone else to complain a deceased person's tax form. Like, that's exactly what the form was that I filled out when we did our taxes. It was just a different number. Okay, fine. So I go back to H&R Block today, which happens to be the last day that they're open. I did not know this. I talked to the guy who prepared my taxes last year after I sat there. And guess what? He's like, what's a 56 form? I'm like, you're the tax preparer. You are the tax guy. Googles it. He finds a 56 form. Okay, cool. So what do I do with this? Where do I send it? Well, I'm not exactly sure where you send it. Okay, you're the tax guy. You're supposed to know. Goes back and prints me off the address where I sent the original return. Well, this is where you sent the original return to. Okay, thanks a lot. He said, or it might be better if you fax it. Where's the fax number? I'm really not sure where the fax number is. I said, what about me just taking a picture and scanning it up and emailing it to them? Well, no, they really won't let you do that. They really want us to fax it, and now we fax electronically from the printer. Okay, isn't that the same as scanning it in and emailing it from the printer? Yeah, well, pretty much it is. So long story short, the IRS is understaffed. Hey, hire some people. Hire some people. The H&R Block dude is nice and tries to be helpful, but he doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. And this is all a farce. And it is no longer really, for me, about the money. I have in my life, when I've gotten to really challenging, really annoying and frustrating situations like this, been famous for throwing my hands up and saying, fuck it, I'm done. Just let them. And that, at this point, is what I want to do. I want to say, if I could throw my hands up and donate his $1,490 to a better cause. Right? Because here's the thing, though. It's not even about the money anymore. It's not about the money. I don't need it. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying, I'm just some big baller, and I got a big old wad of cash that I carry around, $20,000. I got a gold Rolex here. I got a big house on the big side of town, and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that. I could definitely use it, but I don't have to have it to live on. That's not even the point anymore. The point now that I'm going to keep pressing on and pressing and pressing and pressing until I finally get this man's money is to prove a point that I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up this time. You're not going to get me. You're not going to get the best of Carolina Jackpot. I'm going to blow up on somebody, and somebody is going to give me my money.